Hey everyone, welcome back to TechStennis. Today we're diving into something that could shake up how many games are made. Nintendo and the Pokémon Company just got a US patent on 12,403,397. That covers a particular mechanic, summoning a character or sub-character to battle an enemy. What does that mean for game developers? What are the risks? And how might this impact the kinds of games we love? Let's unpack it. The patent was filed in March 2023 and granted in September 2025. It describes a scenario in which the player controls a main character moving in a virtual space. The player can issue an input, for example, pressing a button or using some input method, that causes a sub-character to appear in the field. If that sub-character appears at a location where there is already an enemy, a battle mode can start based on player input. If the enemy isn't present at the location, then automatic control kicks in. Sub-character moves autonomously until it finds or detects an enemy. The patent also mentions the act of throwing a ball to summon a character, which is an obvious nod to the Pokémon mechanic. Additionally, Nintendo also got another patent, on 12,409,387, related to smoothly switching or riding objects. That's a separate mechanic but shows they're filing broadly. Nintendo is already suing the makers of Palworld Pocket Pair for allegedly infringing on similar gameplay mechanics, mostly to do with capturing/summoning/riding creatures. Because of the lawsuit, Palworld has already made changes to some of its mechanics, for example how pals are summoned via spheres to avoid further disruption. Small devs might fear litigation. When big companies hold patents on gameplay mechanics, indie and smaller studios might avoid similar mechanics, even logic that is derivative or common, just to be safe. Innovation could be stifled. If mechanics that seem basic or fundamental to many genres can be patented in detail, developers may avoid experimenting with or iterating on those mechanics. Patent challenges and prior art. There's likely to be pushback. Some of these mechanics or similar ones exist in older games. Prior art might invalidate parts of the patent if challenged in court. The patent is specific. It doesn't mean every summoning mechanic is now automatically infringing. To be considered infringing under this patent, the game likely needs to match many of the clauses in the patent. If the implementation is different, or doesn't follow the flow exactly, it might not apply. Patent enforcement cost. Holding a patent is one thing, pursuing legal action across different developers is expensive and complex. Big companies sometimes use patents more as deterrents than actual lawsuits. Changes in wording or implementation can often circumvent or avoid infringement. Developers could alter how summoning works, how control is shared, or how battles initiate. Read the patent text, if you're building games or are into game dev. Knowing exactly what is claimed helps you design around it. Monitor legal developments. See how Nintendo proceeds. Do they sue more developers? Or is this mostly leveraged in legal posturing? Design with differentiation in mind. If your game uses summoning or helper characters, make sure your control flows or battle initiation are meaningfully different. Nintendo's new patent shines a spotlight on how intellectual property, IP law, intersects with game design. Mechanics that many presumed were free to use may now carry legal risk, depending on their details. For players, this may not change much immediately, but for developers, especially smaller ones, it's a signal. Be careful, be creative, and don't assume something obvious is safe. What do you think? Does this patent go too far, or is it a fair protection of creative work? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you're a dev, I'd love to hear how you design around this. And if you like this breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.